Hey YouTube, this is Sherman Smalls, and once again I would like to say thank you to all of our brothers and sisters who are making videos, who are sharing their points of view and encouragement by means of their ideas and thoughts. Today I wanted to talk about the Russian ban, and I got a chance to listen to many other points of view. And sometimes listening to others and their points of view can help clarify your own view, because sometimes you can have an issue and you may not really understand how you feel really about the issue until you hear other people talk about it, and sometimes that can clarify your own thinking and make your own idea clear. So I would like to thank those who made videos for helping me actually clarify my idea as it relates to the Russian ban. As far as the ban is concerned, we know that Jehovah's Witnesses have been outlawed or banned in Russia, and frankly, I agree with the ban. I think it's a very good idea, and for a couple of reasons. The first reason, I did a little research and I came to understand what the country of Russia is trying to do in general. They're trying to solidify their authority in the country. They're trying to make sure their country is not subject to outside influence or the Western influence. And from Russia's point of view, many things that are normal in Western culture aren't good for the Russian people as far as Russia is concerned. And so based on this, they're trying to firm up their country, so to speak, in relation to their social values and in relation to their community values. So that's the first thing. And so when it comes to what Russia is trying to do and what Jehovah's Witnesses are doing, Russia feels that the ideologies that the Jehovah's Witnesses have do not fit in with what they're trying to do as a culture. So they find them to be extremist for this and for other reasons. So the first thing, it has to do with Russian law and how the Russians feel their laws are being violated by the teachings and beliefs of Jehovah's Witnesses, not individually, but as an organization. One thing I could kind of relate it to is when we were growing up, I remember in my family, my parents didn't want me to read comic books because they felt that the comic books had an undue influence, or they could have an undue influence on me. So I was not allowed to read comic books, even though I wanted to read comic books. But they felt that for some reason, comic books would undermine what they were trying to do as a Jehovah's Witness family. And so based on this, I can kind of understand Russia's point of view. And even when you think of Jehovah's Witnesses themselves, the organization, they have banned things. You know, there are certain things that they don't want us to read or Jehovah's Witnesses to read, and there's certain ideas that they don't want us to come in contact with because they feel it may erode our faith in Jehovah, or they may feel it may erode our trust or faith in the organization, really. So when it comes to banning, it's something that's normal, it's something that's understood, and it happens all the time. And so I don't feel that it's a bad thing. I feel that the Jehovah's Witnesses do have many things that they need to improve on, and many of their ideologies are incorrect. Even the way that they attack other religions and promote their religion as the only way leading to life, or the only way leading to God. One of the things that I came across as I was thinking about this video was something that was found in one of the magazines. It was a 2013 magazine, and it was talking about how they wanted people to have their allegiance, in other words, to the organization. I'm going to see if I can find it now. And actually, it's the 2013 issue. It's the 2013 issue of the Watchtower, and it said this, November 15th. It says, at that time, the life-saving direction that we received from Jehovah's organization may not appear practical from a human standpoint, all of us must be ready to obey any instructions we may receive, whether these appear sound from a strategic or human standpoint or not. So when we think of that statement, the first thing it's telling people is that they're going to be receiving life-saving direction from Jehovah's organization or from this faithful and discreet slave class. And the second thing they're telling people is that this information that they are receiving from this faithful and discreet slave class may not seem practical or wise. And it's telling people they must be ready to obey any instructions they may receive, whether they appear sound or not. So that's a very deep statement, and it's a statement that many people don't catch or many people don't understand. In other words, it's telling people to listen whether they feel they should listen or not. It's telling people to be ready to obey what they say, basically at the drop of a pen. So is that extremist? Many would say so. And also based on the information that we recently received in the February 2017 study issue, it's telling us that the very people who are writing this information that you need to listen and obey, it's telling us that they're not inspired. So if they're going to be getting this life-saving information, where will it be coming from? Or how would they receive it? Or how would they know to put it out at that particular time? So when you have a group of people that want to control others, or a group of people that are telling others that they need to listen to them, no matter what the cost or no matter what the penalty, that's extremist. That's ideal that could not and should not be tolerated. So it's not tolerated in Russia, and it's not tolerated by many others. It should not be tolerated anywhere. So that's one of the reasons also I feel that the ban on Jehovah's Witnesses in Russia is a good thing. It's ideal. I think it will stop the promotion of false ideas. I think it will stop the spread of this false religion as we know it. Another thing that is very important when it comes to this ban on Russia, I think it will help wake some people up. I think it would help them to the extent that when things are banned, people understand that this activity is slowed down. And so some people are going to be motivated to actually think. They're going to be, well, why are the Jehovah's Witnesses banned? Why were the prayers of thousands or millions of people, for that matter, unheard? Why were all of the letters written to the Russian government? Why were these unanswered? Why was there no result? In other words, why did not Jehovah protect his own so-called organization? Why wouldn't Jehovah answer the prayers of his followers, hoping to stave off this ban? That's something that people are going to have to think about, and many will come to a correct conclusion. But many times people, especially Jehovah's Witnesses, are guilty of thinking with their hearts instead of thinking with their minds. You'll often notice that the Jehovah's Witnesses, many of them, are not willing to listen to anything or understand anything because it's an emotional decision. It's an emotional reaction. They feel that when you talk about the organization, they're being attacked. And so it's an emotion that they have to defend this false religion. But at the same time, they haven't taken out the time to investigate. They haven't taken out the time to find out, is the foundation of my religion really true? But when it comes down to the ban and the fact that many people are going to continue to follow the directives of, the faithful and discreet slave as they know them, or these governing body members, the consequences for these actions are going to be either jail time or fines or maybe even both. But the point is that actions do have consequences. And the fact that someone did not take the time out to find out whether something was true or not, and the fact that somebody chooses to continually follow a path That's a decision that they make, and those are consequences. They're going to be consequences that they have to receive based on their decision and based on their action. So, listening to one explanation and one video, it helped me appreciate this. In this day and age, information is basically at our fingertips. If we want to find out anything, we can Google it. If we have a sickness, we can go to WebMD. There's virtually nothing that we can't find if we're interested in finding it. And for the most part, the majority of people have a computer or access to a computer. So they have the ability to research a subject and the ability to come up with conclusions based on their research. Now, if they are unwilling to do this research, or if they are unwilling to find out this information, or if they are unwilling to listen to the many messengers or the many prophets, as I see them, that Jehovah has sent, the many life ropes, if you will, then that's going to be something that they have to live with. They're going to have to reap the consequences of their behavior. They're going to have to reap the consequences of their action. Most of us in this day and age, the majority of us, have the opportunity to come across correct information. If we choose to make an emotional decision and not look at this information or not take heed to this information, then we cannot be shielded from the consequences of our actions. If we choose to go into the preaching work and the government says that we shouldn't, and we do it anyway, then of course you're going to go to jail or you're going to be met with fines. So the point is that many are just unwilling to listen. They have another agenda. We can not forget the message that Jehovah gave to his people, Israel. He sent many prophets to them to tell them that, the organization had went astray and they killed the prophets. And Jehovah said that. Jehovah said, Jerusalem, the killer of prophets. And so that's what's happening now. Many people don't want to heed the message that's being put out there. They want to ignore it. They want to rely on their emotions as opposed to using the thinking ability that God gave them. Another last point that I would like to make is the fact that Jehovah's Witnesses in general do not feel that any of the Bible prophecies apply to them. And on this note, I would like to say many of us have learned in the study of the Revelation Climate book, or even going back to Babylon the Great has fallen, that publication, that there would be a time when the governments would turn on false religion and these religions would be destroyed. So the point would be, why would not this same prophecy apply to Jehovah's Witnesses? Why would not the fact that the governments are turning on false religion be applicable to the Jehovah's Witnesses? Are not the Jehovah's Witnesses a false religion? So could it be Bible prophecy in that they are turning on these Jehovah's Witnesses, this organization, based on the fact that it is a false religion and it needs to be corrected? Many times we heard that we were taught that the judgments administered by human governments are actually the judgments of Jehovah, but these judgments are administered through a human hand. So that being the case, why would it not be true that Jehovah has seen fit to pass judgment on this organization, and this judgment is being manifest by means of the Russian government and many other governments that have banned the activity of Jehovah's Witnesses? So in any event, while many of us have our different ideas, and all of the ideas are valid, all of the ideas and thoughts are useful, my opinion is that the ban is valid and that it should stand, and that we should understand it, or at least I understand it, as the fall of false religion, the fall of Babylon the Great. Jehovah has passed his judgment upon an unfaithful or unfit group of men, the governing body, and these are the judgments that are being handed down as time passes on. So in any event, best wishes to all, and hope everything is good now and on into the future.